Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. We're taking a look here at Solana, as we mentioned earlier we would. And when we last left off, we were talking about getting above the cloud and how important it is to close here above this key level resistance closer to about $70. While we didn't do that, we're making some steps towards that. We are technically above the $68 mark, which is a good starting point. So we'll talk about that and much more and kind of see kind of what that looks like on the back end too. And just quickly note, where we're at with things here. So folks, if you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. I love teaching people to trade though. I hope you can learn something today. Again, we got a trading academy, community, and signal group. Link down below, cryptocash.tech if you're curious about how that works. I also got a phenomenal Discord here with a really awesome group of folks. Thanks again, everyone, for just being an amazing part of my life. I think you guys are awesome. Really cool to work with you. Again, if you want access to signals, we took some nice trades here recently. OP 21% 6 hours, Cartesi 70%, Atom 102. These are just swing trades that kind of filter in because they do take days or weeks to hit. We do also have day trades, of course, here as well as my day trading scalping bot. Took nice 22% from Solana, Litecoin 6%, 13% from Solana. 20% from Solana. We scalped the heck out of Litecoin too as well, but Solana and BNB are some of the big winners here for us. Oh, there's a Matic trade too. Again, really cool stuff. You do got to kind of keep your head on a swivel with those though, because that day trading bot will catch a lot of opportunities really fast, and you don't have enough time in the day to catch them all. So try not to worry about it. You miss one, next one will come up in a few hours later. Okay, so just some friendly advice to my current community members for that. Speaking of community members, let's talk a little bit about the back end data here and work our way down. Because I was talking to my community about $61 being a big liquidation level for this coin. So just be mindful. We're starting to see more longs starting to enter at about 64. This isn't necessarily their entry, but this is where the liquidation is for them. So probably some high leverage longs is my guess, because they probably got in around 65 with liquidation at 64. So there's probably some 20x leverage trades. Regardless of how you slice it, we got a lot of liquidation below the price, but also just about as much above the price too, between 75 and 80. So it really could go either way. I don't think liquidation is going to determine which direction the price action goes here. I think Bitcoin has a lot to do with that, honestly, and Bitcoin is kind of still on the struggle bus. It's sitting here at about low 41,000. So let's just give you a quick perspective. Bitcoin is stuck below the cloud here, kind of averaging itself at volume support. It's not really a fantastic situation, kind of double bottoming, but hasn't shown any signs of wanting to continue much further. And until we get above the cloud, I don't really feel very confident taking a trade with that. Same thing here with Solana too. They're both in very similar circumstances. While we have swept a majority of this liquidity, there's still some left, of course. It's just not a great situation. Let's talk about the big picture now that we have a daily candlestick closure and kind of see what's going on here. So as I've mentioned before, we're still bullish in the overall uptrend and the longer term picture. In other words, big picture still looking good, but we are starting to see some not so great things. We got a MACD divergence here. And keep in mind, this doesn't mean the sky is going to fall. Look at the last divergence, for example. When we diverged last time, it was right here. Price wicked down, maintained its support level at the 20-day SMA, and continued higher on its way as if it never happened. Okay, so that's what a MACD did here previously. So not a reason to take a trade to the downside, but all the more reason to be cautious and careful, knowing that the price action could go lower because we're having that happen. To me, being above 50 on the RSI is an extremely important factor on the daily. I think we're still in decent shape. Stochastic is swinging down, so we have tons of momentum to the downside, and money flow index is coming with it. So again, oscillators are telling us we don't have a very fantastic situation here. However, the trend lines and the overall scenario here tells us otherwise. So, I guess you could say pick whichever one works best for you, but not really. You combine them together and average it out. It's not really an ideal situation to take a trade, right? I know those are fighting words there, aren't they? I struck a chord with somebody I know. Wait, you don't want me to trade? What am I gonna do? Calm down. Enjoy your personal life. Don't trade for a day. It's okay. Take a break. You don't have to trade all day every day. It's a different story. I mean, I happen to love it, so I do it. But again, I don't necessarily trade all day either. My community can speak to that. I might send 1 or 2 signals a day tops outside of my day trading bot, and I can tell you that they come with good reason because I analyze about 10 to 15 coins a day. All right, and again, those are deep dives, not just, oh, I feel good about this, I'm going to get in, right? Don't do that. There's no such thing as a good feeling on a trade, okay? Actually, in the years, you can kind of develop that, but you still got to look at certain things. Anyways, what I'm getting at here is this $68 mark is still a positive contributing factor. Being above that level is good here for the moment. Again, slight consolation. We're still under 50 on the RSI. I don't love this. This is not something I like to trade into. Unless we're massively overextended, there's no reason to take a trade right now. Money flow index is kind of just meh, going sideways, so that doesn't really help us either. And even though we are converging on the stochastic, that's still not enough momentum or consideration for me to take a trade. Again, we're establishing lower lows, folks, and lower highs. Until we break that trend, there's no reason to take a trade. And again, I know you're probably the person that bought this dip or this dip, and maybe even this dip as well, hoping for the best. Hope doesn't belong in trading, all right? You expect the worst. That's about it. All right. Anyways, I'm not trying to be doom and gloom, but there's really nothing here super amazing that tells me I want to take a trade. While we are slightly a slight consolation being above 50-day SMA, it could be underneath that in any minute. Okay. So again, not a lot of good things here on the 4-hour. Both 4-hour and the daily give us conflicting information, but again, mostly bearish signs on the 4-hour time frame. What does the hourly tell us? Well, we kind of already summarized this earlier, that we are below the cloud, a bearish sign. Conversion line is below the baseline. Lagging span's free and clear. This is literally a sign to take a short position. This is exactly what you want to look for when taking a short. Okay. Now, I wouldn't recommend shorting Solana at this point. It seems kind of risky leading into the Fed meeting tomorrow. I'm personally steering clear of it, which reminds me I do have to message my group here, letting them know that we're not taking a trade today based on that sentiment. Okay. Again, those are just things I like to avoid because in the past have been burned. What do you know? Learn from your mistakes, right? That's what you should be doing too. Write down everything that you do. Go back, learn from what you've done, and self-analyze what happened at that point. A lot of it has to do with emotion and things that you can control within reason. Again, it's not an exact science, but it does take time to develop. Either way, I'm sorry, I get a little wordy here again. These are all things available in my Trading University. Jump on over to our Discord, have fun with that. Some really, really cool folks over there. Make sure you also do this too, because this is extremely important. Because a lot of VPN and KYC exchanges are requiring those now. I did misspeak on that, of course, but generally speaking, like BingX, for example, one of our affiliates. I love BingX, but unfortunately, they're requiring a KYC now. Well, sorry, they're requiring a VPN, which means KYC is on the horizon, okay? Anyways, what I'm getting at here, check this link out, link down below. You get some significant benefit rewards. I have heard a lot of positive feedback, and I personally love them myself. They're my favorite exchange. So be sure to use them. If you use my link to register, you'll get those rewards there, of course, depending on how much you deposit and trade. But again, awesome exchange. Thanks again, Bitunix, for a really wonderful opportunity for my members. Last but not least, really, there isn't much else, honestly. Jump on over to our Discord. We have so far today, drum roll please, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 new members in our community today. Awesome stuff. All right, folks, be sure to check that out. I love to work with you. Have a great rest of the day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.